everybody, and welcome back to the Old City Leviathan with me, Flog. And we are in the subway, seems. Got a little bit of a laggy camera there going on there for a second. Alright. I don't think we can go any deeper. I think that's as deep as we can go. So we're just going to turn around and go back this way. Now, at the end of the last episode, he said that he was in the final steps to the old city, and that he wished he could take Leviathan with him. So, I don't know what that means. Still don't know that. I don't know if I'm inside of something, or if something's inside of me. I don't really know, but it's still fascinating. Alright. Can I pick up the phone? That's something I can do? Nope. Okay. Never mind. Cannot pick up the phone.
Will you remember me? After all, I could never forget you. And how can I even begin to thank you for all that you've done for me? You protected me from a world that I was too weak to bear. But now the distant shores of another reality are calling me home. To something I've never seen before. A dangerous and unpredictable world lies ahead of me. But I'm ready to let loose the sails.
Okay, so that looks like the way I have to go. But there was another path off this way, which leads back into this building over here. And I don't know if I can actually... Well, I suppose I can go this way, but I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. It's the Sharon station, it looks like. Let's go this way. Since it seems like that big house over there seems to be where it wants me to go, let's try to go this way. I just want to sail? Travel in style. Book your trip to... Okay. What we got here? It started when I was a child, I'm sure. It started just after I began to ask questions. I asked them over and over until my poor parents were forced to resort to arbitrary certainties. Why, I asked. Why? Over and over I wanted to regress until I hit a point where I said so was the only acceptable answer. It was at that moment, that small moment of parental authority, that I felt safe. It is in the most bizarre and unfortunate turn of events, I fell downward into the acceptance of an end to regression. But the good was never perfect, was it? All I wanted was the good. I wanted to maintain my happiness, my contentment, even if it was born of a less than ideal perspective. But what is an ideal perspective anyway? What is the perfection that I should have latched onto? That's just the fun of it, isn't it? It isn't real. It's a dream, my dear reader. The ideal was never real, and it was never within my grasp. To even attempt to reach it would have destroyed my happiness. The child in me could not handle this. However, so I rejected the ideal. I wanted to remain safe. Yes, and I did so until it happened.
My father once recited a poem to me about an older world. I believe it was called Dover Beach. I can still remember the imagery, just the words that escape me. We stood at the shoreline, waves crashing in, each wave eroding yet another piece of what I once believed. I think my father saw what was happening to me. He saw the dwindling of my dreams, the death of discovery. I could no longer rely on ABBA to build my dreams back up. Left with nothing, I convinced myself that there were no dreams.
Interesting. So I found a giant, outdoor library. Looks like 3 more pages up on this wall. Then an exit door. Everything changed, however, when I learned to use my dreams. I had always dreamed, of course, but the question was that of their usefulness, not their existence. I could not escape them, so the latter point was moot. Dreams have an incredibly powerful hold on one's perspective of reality, even if they have little to do with it themselves. After falling, my assumption was that my dreams existed to taunt me. They seemed to only contrast the ideal with the real. This made the real all the more depressing, but I do not believe that this is where the dreams have their use. Dreams act as impossible ideals that should never be fully grasped. Rather, they should serve only as a direction for progression. The dream will never be realized in your lifetime, dear reader, but the real will change marginally, a marginal effect caused by a relatively small part of humanity. Your task is to bring the dreams to the real, even if the effect is marginal. One giant leap, reader. Abraham, they called me. At least, that was the name I gave to the young dweller who asked me the other day. What was a relevant question? My name is as important as my status as an individual. Anyway, I could see the glimmer of pointlessness in his eyes. It is the driving force behind progression. If only he can accept the marginal nature of the process, he must be able to remove his worth as an individual so that he may take his own leap for only a small reward. When meaning is deconstructed, the only driving force for progress is the acceptance of uncertainty. Dreams. The old city never offered enlightenment. On the contrary, it offers only further dreaming, and it is now time for me to take my leap. I wish more would come along. Well, okie dokie. I'm just going to head on out this door. I believe that's going to be the exit out to here. Where the fuck is here? Yeah, there's another door here. Okay. I can't seem to go down that way. Okay. Gotta go up. Is there anything up here? Nope. I can't drop down either, it seems. Unless I was just stuck on something. There we go. There we go. Alright. So that's probably not everything I could have found in that. But I want to go ahead and head to this giant house. Or giant wall. I don't know what the hell I'm headed toward. That is crazy. Up there looks like that's Old City, maybe? There's like really intricate drawings all over the ground. It's kind of interesting.
Here it is. The leap.
Oh, I thought
Goodbye,
that was
my
a
old
ladder.
friend.
Holy hell. That's the leap. Alright. Alright, I don't know what's going on now. We've entered another loading screen, which means that this area might be the next area, or the last area of the game, or that was it. And I just jumped down into the... Oh, nope. There is another one, the new. So now we get to see exactly what's going on in this world of the new.
If this final dream before the new is to be trusted, then all life follows the pattern of broken progression. Some call it redemptive history, still others call it galvanization, yet the trajectory is undoubtedly the same. We exist on a familiar shoreline, with the waters lapping at our feet. We look back and see an explored and thus frozen world. Then, as if subconsciously recognizing the need for change, we dive into a prison of even further inactivity. My prison was my only friend, it seems. But even he saw fit to spit me upon a new shore.
It's a giant minotaur, but there's also people here and there. But they're frozen.
I do miss Leviathan. It wasn't his fault that I was a parasite. But was he necessary at all? After being cast out, was devolution in his stomach the appropriate next step? Why couldn't I have simply washed ashore to the old city?
Okay, I gotta go back this way because of the fact that I saw something down at the other end of the hall, and I don't know if it was people or what it was. No, those are just chairs, aren't they? Oh, there's another book. The one constant between the factions is the distrust of this new world, the world of ideas. Then again, this makes sense given that their ideas are not only their own, are not truly their own. What's more interesting to me is that their ideas are based on essentially nothing, which is by no means a bad thing, if only that they could recognize it. They have the same core in the abyss, but the deductions can still function. I understand that the need to push their ideas to make them win out in this abstract world that they share with the others, because truth must be compatible with itself. However, once the core is unveiled as void, one cannot be certain that their own ideas are the most fit for survival. Thus, the ideas need to do battle with themselves and by themselves in the world of mirrors the dream. If truth is to be compatible with itself, making it singular and unchanging, you need to let your ideas, the one that you hold dear, exist in the same space, in the same dream, as the others that you reject. The mind will never be able to see the truth to its fullest extent, but this sea of minds we call humanity will uncover it piece by piece if the ideas are left alone to do their work. Not through violence, rules, activism, or education will the ideas evolve. Only through idealism can the ideas be truly changed for good. The marginal effect, yes, but we must make giant leaps as individuals towards the ideal, knowing that it will result in only a small step for mankind, because your experience and your individuality is worth nothing in the light of the greater and entirely imaginary echelon. You cannot expect the others to take this leap with you. Rather, you can only model that leap for future minds. You can only point in the direction of the ideal, rushing towards it with all your might, knowing that you would never reach it in 1,000 ages. You will never see the dream realized. It is for this reason that the new world is useful beyond escape. Nineveh needs only the ideas of nothing more. Not destruction, not legal action, not social reform, and not decay. Nineveh only needs the ideas and the ideas alone. Excuse me, you need them as well, and you must resist the urge to sail into oblivion, to Tarshish. Rather, sail into discovery. Sail to a world where your ideas die and new ones take their place so you can bring back your findings to the world, to Nineveh, and enjoy their fruits. Trust stupid ideas to die with stupid people. Intriguing. Alright, so this is sort of like you gotta use your mind to change things, even if they are just small changes. Very intriguing story. I guess I'm gonna be headed toward that giant Minotaur statue. I know that's where I want to head. If that's not where I'm headed, I don't know where I want to go then. This might be me headed toward becoming a Minotaur, or the character. Not so much me, but... Well, got some more stone people. Got anything up here?
Perhaps Leviathan existed for me to discover him, even if that which I explored was my prison. Perhaps I simply needed to see the stagnation before evolving.
Alright, so I don't know if these people were real. I don't know if this is real. I don't know where the hell I am. I don't know what I'm doing. I am headed toward that giant.
When I was a child, I was given a rowboat. I wanted to sail, so the universe built me a galleon. How unfortunate that, when I got older, I no longer wished to explore.
Huh. That is rather unfortunate. Looks like I'm headed in here. My path must be taking me toward that Minotaur statue. And I don't know if that's the same one that was falling before. And this might just be like this might be like a look into the past. Is that a fish? That is a fish. Splashing out of the water. Ah, I'm back here.
I am going to explore again. I'm going to board my vessel and sail into an unknown world to dream all the more. I'll leave this dream behind to feel the sand of other shores in my hand and let it loose as I travel inward towards newness. First, however, I'll make one last dive into Abyss.
Alright. It looks like the idea behind this. Oh, is that where I'm headed now? Alright, so it looks like I'm headed into yet another area. Don't know what's gonna happen, but this is the last dive into the Abyss. Maybe this one's just gonna be called Abyss. Or Void, or something. That seems to be the prevailing ideas in this game, is like Void and Abyss. Oh, okay, well, Leviathan. We had Behemoth, but now we've got Leviathan. Alright. I didn't start off in my room.
Here lies my captor, the great sleeping fish.
Oh, I'm under the sea. I am actually under the sea. Oh, is this the story of Leviathan?
My foundation's been disintegrated. I'm left with nothing but void. However, the baby of belief need not be thrown out with the bathwater of certainty. An assertion from an assumption is still an assertion, making any deduction from that foundation subject to critique. I may not be able to deduce from a place that I know to be true, but that which I deduce from my dreams must still be compatible with itself. Like a child, I regressed with no end. Over and over I asked, why? As each answer demanded further questioning. Eventually, I convinced myself that the regression was nonsensical, by nature of it being childish. But what if that childlike curiosity is the vessel that can bring us to usefulness? What if we put aside the certainty and adopt discovery?
It's a good idea. Also, there was a gigantic minotaur laying there in the sand. Alright, let's head through this door. I'm under the water. I'm under the sea. I do realize that. And I'm very tempted to under the sea. Under the sea.
I think I was wrong.
Oh, dear God.
Dover isn't where my dreams died. It's where one dream took over. I dreamt that I had no dreams. I dreamt that Dover smothered my belief with certainty. In truth, a truth that I cannot know, Dover ran red. The dream of realism created a monopoly of comfortable stagnation that held me hostage until I could do nothing but cling to Leviathan's innards for safety. My belief was not truly killed, it was captured. One belief was deemed more true than another, and I convinced myself that I was correct. I convinced myself that I could be correct. What if this dream's monopoly was disintegrated? What if I could explore a multiplicity of dreams, never quite knowing which ones are a reality? Truth must be compatible with itself, but what happens when truth is unattainable?
That's a good point. So there are giant minotaur. This must be the lair of the minotaur. This must be the isolationism that they were talking about.
The Dweller's dreams could function within themselves, from their foundation, as long as the factions recognize that foundation as a dream. What point would there be in conflict if the dreams cannot truly be controlled? They have their dreams, and they cannot assert which is superior.
Oh, that's what the GUO is. The Guild, the Unknowing, and the Order. That's what GUO is. And that's why there were switches on the wall. The switches are supposed to tell people what you believe in, like your faction. Giant crab, are you gonna kill me? That's freaking awesome. Alright, so this is kind of a big bottom area that I can accidentally drop into, it looks like. So I probably shouldn't drop through a hole if I end up going further up. So let's go this way. might be a Minotaur. Like, the character I'm playing as might be a Minotaur. And that's the reason why I'm able to breathe underwater. One giant leap for a man, one small step for mankind.
Solomon saw the illusion for what it was. He saw that the lack of dreams was a dream itself. His downfall was in his pessimism, however. He saw the manifesting process of dreams to be too slow. But of course it is, my dear Solomon. The dreams will never manifest in our lifetime, but that's where they have their worth. The dream, the ideal, is an object whose grasp should never be fully achieved. It is in the desire for the object that our true desire should lie. We should desire to desire, and in presenting the ideal to a fallen world, we will make incremental steps towards perfection as the eschaton approaches.
The eschaton.
One giant leap for a man, one small step for mankind, Solomon.
Interesting. So I was saying echelon because I thought that was an L, but it's eschaton. Okay. Well, what's further this way? This episode might be a little longer because I have a feeling I'm right at the end, and so I'm just going to record until the end of the game. Okay, that's the hole that I don't want to fall into. Because that's the hole that's going to lead me back down to that big crab. Ah, okay, this leads to the outside area where this guy was overlooking everything.
I would tell myself that the real world has shown itself like a clear blue sky, spotless in its vast and flat nature. I tricked my own mind into believing that belief itself was not present. Now that the illusion has been revealed, I'm left believing that I can't know.
Alright.
Truth must be compatible with itself based on a starting point I can't prove. I can't assert which dream is not a dream at all, because they're all just dreams. Why not discover the dreams I can't control, rather than hiding portions of them away to let what I was certain of flourish?
So this is more like a, giving away, Ooh. Hello? Is that the giant fish? I guess I'm supposed to go in. Huh. Oh, that's wicked. This is very strange.
One last look at my cage. One last dive into the abyss of negativity. A terrible world full of terrible people, yes, but that can be changed. Epistemic humility can regress to the deconstruction of stagnation. What I previously thought to be stagnation
giant friggin' heart.
itself, the lack of any true knowledge, is simply the deconstruction of an anchor, freeing us
bug
to
thing
traverse
too.
the unexplored.
Holy crap. Somehow that giant bug thing's in here. Am I one of the giant bugs? Oh, no.
I swam the depths. I confronted the bottom of the redemptive checkmark. I was far more negative than those who still cling to certainty, but that's part of the progression. It's part of the broken progression. In this respect, we cannot improve without first deconstructing. Now, all that's left is to rise to the surface, board my vessel, and set sail for a new and terrifyingly uncertain world. The old city has called, and I wish that more would have the bravery to join me on my journey.
Alright, so it looks like I'm ascending to my vessel so that I may set sail to a new world where I can erase all of my ideals and have only the ideals that are new. Okay, so this was where I fell. And so this means that I'm heading into the old city. Looks like. Ah, and there we go. I believe that would be the end of the game, guys. That was a fascinating journey through a fantastical world. I think that's it. I could be wrong. There could be more to this. I hear, but I can't see. Okay, that's kind of weird. I think that's it, though. We didn't even get to see the old city. I don't think. I don't know what's happening. I think that's the end of the game, though. Unless something random pops up. But anyway, that was the old city Leviathan. There you go. So we came full circle. We learned a lot of shit about this world. There's a bunch of Solomon's notes, but there is no way that I can read them all to you. I believe that I got all of them, though. Yeah, I got... Oh, I didn't get the 7th one. Oh well. Well, I got 6 of the 7, but all of them are just so long. Look how long they are. And so, there's probably a whole bunch of stuff here. And, you know, if you guys want to, you guys can play the game for yourself and experience this just amazing world that this guy created. But I want to thank you for joining me on this journey through the Old City Leviathan. Remember to hit that like button, comment, and of course subscribe, and check out more of the stuff that we've got on the channel right now as well. But I will see you guys in another series. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for watching that video. Click in the upper left to subscribe, and then check out Surf Log and Shovel Knight. Alright. Also, make sure to check us out on Google Plus and Twitter for all the new updates for the channel before you check out Jigeling playing Outlast.
Hide in the locker, don't try to fight. I do not believe I will.